Aliens freeze in shock as a human child kisses the deadliest dragon in the galaxy. Part 1. The galaxy had many dangers, but none were as feared as the dragons of the Andron cluster. They were massive, winged creatures with scales harder than any metal, eyes that could pierce through the soul, and breath that could melt through steel. No soldier, pilot, or even alien diplomat dared come near them. They were considered unstoppable, untouchable, and utterly deadly. But today, a small human child was about to change everything. On the edge of the cluster, on a remote research station orbiting a dying star, a group of aliens gathered. They were representatives from various planets, tall, short, winged, and tentacled. All had heard the rumors about the human child, a girl named Lily. She was only 7 years old, yet her reputation had spread across galaxies. She was fearless, curious, and strangely lucky. "What are we even doing here?" whispered Caro, a blue-scaled alien with 3 eyes. His voice trembled. "This human, she is just a child. What can she do against a dragon?" Xyler, the tallest of the group, shook his head. His 2 heads moved independently, their jaws clacking. "You do not understand, Caro. This is not just any dragon. It is Zorith, the Black Flame. It has destroyed whole fleets, entire worlds. And this child, she is going to face it." Caro's eyes widened. "Face it? Are you insane?" The alien delegates were led to a wide observation deck. From here, they could see the planet below, a jagged world of black rock and molten rivers. Above it, in the thin purple clouds, a shadow moved. Zorith circled, larger than any ship in the station, wings spreading wide and dark against the light of the dying star. And then they saw her. Lily was standing at the edge of the landing platform. She wore a simple yellow suit, her short brown hair messy from the wind. In her small hands, she carried a bag of food. Her eyes, bright and green, looked up at the dragon with no fear. Caro gasped. "She is smiling at it." "She is not afraid," said Xyler. "Humans are strange. They do things no logic can explain." Lily took a deep breath. She stepped closer to the edge. "Hello, Zorith," she said. Her voice was soft, almost too small to carry across the distance, yet somehow the dragon heard. The black flame tilted its head. It had not expected sound, let alone words, from a human. Its scales glittered in the faint light, and its massive eyes, red as molten fire, focused on her. "Is it listening?" Caro whispered. Xyler's 2 heads turned slowly. "It knows. It always knows." Lily reached into her bag and pulled out a small loaf of bread. She held it in her hands and waved it gently. "I brought something for you. I know you are hungry." The dragon growled low in its throat. Flames curled around its teeth, but it did not attack. It floated closer, its massive wings creating gusts of wind that almost knocked Lily over. She braced herself, but never flinched. "You are brave," said Xyler quietly. "Foolishly brave, but brave." The child spoke again. "I am not afraid of you, Zorith. I know you are not just fire and teeth. You are more than that. You are lonely." The aliens gasped. Caro's jaw dropped. Did she just talk to it? Lily took a step forward. The dragon's eyes followed every movement, its massive head tilting in curiosity. She placed the bread on a flat rock at the edge of the platform. Slowly, carefully, she knelt down and extended her small hand. "See? I just want to be friends." The dragon sniffed the bread. Smoke curled from its nostrils. It lowered its massive head, closer to Lily than any alien had ever dared. Then, in a moment so fast it stunned everyone watching, Lily leaned forward and kissed the dragon on its snout. The effect was immediate. The alien delegates froze in shock. Some turned pale. Some dropped to their knees. Xyler's 2 heads clicked in disbelief. Caro could not breathe. The dragon stiffened. Its eyes widened. And then a low rumble filled the air. It backed away slightly, looking at Lily not as a threat, but as something unfamiliar, something human, something that did not belong to fear or war. Lily smiled. "See, I am not here to hurt you. I just wanted to say hello." For a moment, the galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Even the wind stopped. Zorith lowered its massive wings, settling onto the ground, and blinked slowly. Then, slowly, it leaned forward again, nudging Lily gently with its nose. The aliens could not believe what they were seeing. Caro whispered to Xyler, "This is impossible. Nobody touches Zorith. Nobody." And she kissed it. Xyler shook both heads. Humans are unpredictable. That is why they survive." Lily laughed softly. "Do you want some more?" She opened her bag and took out a small piece of fruit. She held it toward Zorith. The dragon sniffed again, then carefully took the fruit in its massive jaws. It chewed slowly, eyes never leaving Lily. The delegates looked at each other nervously. One of them, a purple-skinned diplomat named Rel, finally spoke. "This is unprecedented. Never in history has a human child interacted with a dragon this way. Never." Lily tilted her head, watching the dragon eat. "You don't have to be scary," she said. "You just need someone to understand you." The black flame's massive tail lashed, sending a shockwave across the platform. Some of the alien guards fell. But Lily didn't move. She simply reached out her hand again. Then, something incredible happened. The dragon lowered its huge head completely and pressed it against her shoulder. It made a sound, a low, vibrating hum that none of the aliens had ever heard. It was not a roar, not a threat. It was contentment. Caro gasped. It likes her." Xyler's two heads tilted, their jaws clicking. "It does not understand why. But yes, it likes her." For a long time, Lily and Zorith stayed like that. She held her small hands on its massive snout. She whispered things that no alien could hear. She laughed quietly. And the deadliest dragon in the galaxy, feared by thousands of species, known to destroy fleets and worlds, was calm, gentle, almost human. The aliens began to murmur among themselves. How is this possible? Why is she not afraid? What does this mean for the galaxy? Rel looked at Caro. "I think we are witnessing something that could change everything. The humans, they are not just survivors. They are different, special." Caro shook his head, staring at the child. "Different? She is 7 years old. And she kissed a dragon. Nobody could survive that." But Lily was smiling. She looked up at the alien delegates and waved. "Hello," she said simply. "Don't worry. We are all going to be friends here." The black flame rumbled again, lifting its massive head and looking at the aliens. Its eyes, red and molten, glinted with intelligence. And then it did something that shocked everyone. It let out a deep, booming growl, not of anger but of agreement. Caro whispered, It accepts them?" Xyler's heads clicked. "It accepts her. And perhaps it accepts humans." Lily laughed softly, brushing her hands along the dragon's scales. "See? You don't need to be alone. Not anymore." The aliens stood frozen, realizing that a 7-year-old human child had done what no fleet, no army, and no alien diplomat could. She had tamed the untamable. She had reached the unreachable. She had done it with nothing but kindness and courage. The galaxy, it seemed, was about to take notice. But not all were pleased. In the shadows of the observation deck, a figure watched silently. A dark presence, a warlord who had hunted dragons for centuries. His eyes narrowed. "A child? A human? Taming Zorith?" He hissed. "This cannot be. If she survives this, the galaxy itself will change." He turned away, his mind already plotting. For the galaxy had many dangers, and now, one human child had just become the most dangerous of all, not because of weapons, not because of strength, but because she carried something that no one, not even the deadliest dragon, could resist. And Lily only smiled. She had no idea how much she had changed the galaxy in a single morning. The black flame rumbled again and lowered its massive body closer to her. Lily hugged its snout, feeling the heat of its scales, the tremor of its breath. "We will be okay," she whispered. "I promise." And somewhere in the galaxy, unseen, ships began to stir. Fleets prepared. Ambassadors whispered. And a child smiled at a dragon, unaware that her courage had already set the course for a war, a friendship, and a story that would be told for generations. Part 2. The news of the human child who had kissed the deadliest dragon spread across the Andron cluster like wildfire. Ships carrying delegates, explorers, and journalists hurried to the remote research station. Every species wanted to see her for themselves. Some came with curiosity. Some came with fear. Some came with plans to capture her or the dragon. But Lily didn't know any of this. She only knew Zorith, the black flame. Every morning, she visited him at the edge of the landing platform. She fed him fruits, small pieces of bread, and sometimes fish she caught from the nearby river. She talked to him about her day, about her small life on the station, about the stars she had read about in books. And Zorith listened. For the aliens watching, it was impossible to understand. A child, no older than 7, had tamed the deadliest creature in the galaxy. Caro, still trembling from the first encounter, returned to the station every day. He watched Lily and Zorith from a distance. "It doesn't make sense," he muttered to Xylar. "No one can do that, not even the fiercest soldiers. And yet, she is not afraid. And the dragon, it obeys her." Xylar's 2 heads tilted. Humans are unpredictable. That is why they survive. But this is something new. Something dangerous. Not because it is violent, but because it changes everything. The balance of power in the galaxy, it is shifting. Meanwhile, Lily's fame spread beyond the Andron cluster. Messages arrived from distant planets, from leaders who had never seen a human in person. They were curious. They wanted to know how such a small creature could befriend Zorith, a dragon who had destroyed entire fleets. Some came peacefully. Some came with caution. Some came with fleets ready to attack. One morning, as Lily approached the platform with a basket of fruits, she saw a ship hovering above the station. It was sleek, black, and fast, unlike any human craft she had ever seen. A group of aliens emerged, wearing sharp armor and carrying strange weapons. "Who are they?" Lily asked Zorith quietly. The dragon rumbled, wings twitching nervously. "They are scouts," said Caro from behind. "They want to see you. Or take you. I'm not sure which." Lily's eyes widened. She clutched the basket tightly. "I just want to feed Zorith. I don't want trouble." The scouts approached, their leader stepping forward. He was tall, with green skin and eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light. "Child human," he said in a voice like grinding stone. "You have something that does not belong to you." Lily tilted her head. "I don't understand. Zorith is my friend. He's not yours or anyone else's. He's free." The green-skinned leader frowned. "He belongs to no one, yet you claim him. Such boldness, unusual for humans. Perhaps dangerous." Zorith growled low in his throat, wings spreading slightly. The aliens flinched back, but Lily stepped forward calmly. "He is not dangerous. Not to me, not to anyone who treats him kindly. You don't have to be afraid." For a moment, the alien leader hesitated. He had faced Zorith before. He had seen worlds destroyed by fire. But this child, she looked at the dragon as if he was a friend, not a weapon. Caro whispered, "She is fearless. And the dragon trusts her." The leader finally said, "You will need to leave. The galaxy is not safe for children. You and your friend must come with us." Lily shook her head. "I'm not leaving. Zorith needs me. And I need him. We belong here." The alien leader's eyes narrowed. "Very well. If you insist, then we shall see how far your courage will take you." Suddenly, Zorith moved. His massive wings lifted him into the air, creating a gust that knocked the alien soldiers off balance. Lily held on to the edge of the platform, but smiled. "Don't hurt them, Zorith. Just show them we are not afraid." The dragon rumbled and let out a low roar that shook the platform. It was a warning, not an attack. The alien stepped back, realizing that brute force alone could not move the child or the dragon. Caro whispered to Xylar, "I don't understand. They came to threaten her, and yet she stands calm." And Zorith listens. "How?" Xylar's heads clicked. "Humans are strange, but they have something no one else has. They are fearless, kind, and clever. Sometimes, cleverness can defeat power faster than armies." Lily approached the alien leader carefully. "You don't need to fight," she said softly. "We can talk. Zorith doesn't want to hurt anyone. He only wants a friend." The alien leader paused, studying her. His hand hovered over his weapon. Slowly, he lowered it. "Perhaps you are more dangerous than we thought. Not because of your strength, but because of your courage and your influence over the dragon." Lily smiled. "I'm not dangerous. I just care. And maybe that's what everyone forgets sometimes." The leader stepped back and motioned for his team to leave. "We will leave for now. But know this, human child. The galaxy is watching you, and some do not like what they see." As the alien ship disappeared into the stars, Lily sat on the edge of the platform with Zorith. She fed him the fruit and whispered stories about the stars. "Don't worry, big guy," she said. "They don't understand yet. But we will be okay." Caro shook his head, amazed. She faces danger without fear, and the dragon obeys her. How is this possible? Xylar's two heads tilted. Humans are not meant to be understood. That is their greatest strength. They survive when all else fails because they see the world differently. And this child, she is extraordinary even among humans. Days passed. More ships arrived, some curious, some hostile, some hoping to study Zorth. But Lily remained calm. Every time a new group came, she would approach them gently, showing kindness, offering fruit, and speaking softly. Slowly, the dragon learned to trust humans not as enemies, but as friends. Caro began to notice a pattern. "It is not just the dragon," he whispered to Xylar one morning. "Every alien who comes here, they change when they meet her. They are not afraid. Some even respect her." Xylar clicked his jaws. Yes, that is the human way. Fear cannot control them. Violence cannot control them. And when others see their courage, they change too. Lily did not know it, but she had begun to build a small alliance. Some aliens came with weapons, but left with admiration. Some came with fear, but left with curiosity. And every day, Zorth grew calmer, more trusting, more willing to interact with others. One evening, as the sun set behind the jagged mountains of the planet below, a strange signal reached the station. It was faint, almost like a whisper through the stars. Caro and Xylar studied it. "It is coming from deep space," Caro said. "It is a warning. Someone knows what is happening here." Xylar's two heads exchanged glances. "It is not just curiosity or fear. It is something more, something powerful, someone who will not ignore this." Lily, unaware of the warning, played beside Zorth. She threw small stones, watched him catch them, and laughed when he gently nudged them back with his snout. "You are funny, Zorth," she said, "and gentle. I think you just need someone to understand you." Zorth's massive wings curled around her, almost like a shield. It had learned to protect her, not because she commanded him, but because she trusted him, and he trusted her. The alien delegates watched in awe. "She does not just tame him," Rel said quietly. "She changes him. She changes the way the galaxy will see humans. And perhaps even the way humans will see themselves." But in the shadows, far beyond the station, a dark fleet moved silently. They had heard of the human child and the dragon. They had heard of the courage and the kindness that tamed a beast feared across the galaxy. And they did not like it. Because in their eyes, no human, no child, no dragon should ever have that kind of power. And so, while Lily laughed and played, unaware of the danger coming, the galaxy prepared for the day when courage, kindness, and a child's friendship would be tested in ways no one had ever imagined. Part 3. The dark fleet moved silently through space, its black ships gliding between stars like predators hunting prey. On the command bridge of the lead ship, a figure watched the remote research station with sharp eyes. He was tall, cloaked in dark armor, and his face hidden by a mask. "They have underestimated the human child," he said in a voice like gravel. "A 7-year-old, and she has tamed Zorth, the Black Flame. Impossible. Yet here we are." A lieutenant, green-skinned and nervous, stepped forward. "Commander, what should we do?" "Attack now." The commander shook his head slowly. "No. We observe. We wait. The child has power beyond strength. We must understand it first. And then, we will test it." Meanwhile, on the station, Lily continued her daily routine. She fed Zorth, played games, and sometimes ran across the jagged rocks with the dragon following her like a gentle giant. She was fearless, laughing as the wind from Zorth's wings tossed her hair around. The aliens watching from the observation deck continued to be amazed. Caro shook his head. "I still don't understand. How does she do it? She is just a child. And yet, she commands respect, even from the deadliest dragon in the galaxy." Xylar's two heads clicked thoughtfully. Humans are not measured by strength alone. Their courage and kindness give them influence beyond logic. And this child, she has more influence than armies. One afternoon, a loud alarm echoed through the station. Lights flashed red. Caro and Xylar rushed to the control room, and Lily ran after them. holding Zoratha's tail lightly to steady herself. "What is it?" she asked, her voice calm but alert. Caro's hands flew over the controls. "Sensors are picking up a fleet. A large fleet. They are moving fast. They are hostile." Xyler's two heads turned sharply toward the star-filled sky. "It is the Dark Fleet. They have arrived." Lily's eyes widened, but she did not panic. "Zorath," she said softly, "we have to protect the station. Can you help?" The black flame rumbled low in his throat, wings spreading wide. He lifted off the ground, creating gusts that shook the station. His eyes glowed red, and a wave of heat rolled over the platform. Lily held his snout gently. "We are together, big guy. We can do this." The aliens scrambled to their stations, trying to prepare for the approaching fleet. Ships that had once been curious observers now readied their weapons. Some were unsure if they should fight alongside humans. Others were already forming a defensive perimeter. From the Dark Fleet, black ships began firing energy beams. The station shook, alarms blaring everywhere. Rocks tumbled off the edges, and fires sparked on metal surfaces. Lily climbed onto Zoratha's back, holding tight as he roared and lifted into the sky. The wind was strong, the heat intense, but she did not falter. "Hold on, Zorath. We can protect them." Zorath flew in wide arcs, dodging beams and sending flames that melted incoming missiles. Aliens who had doubted the child's bravery now watched in awe. Caro shouted, "She's controlling him. She's telling him where to go." Xyler's two heads nodded slowly. "She does not command him like a soldier. She guides him like a friend. That is the difference. And it works." Lily leaned forward, whispering to the dragon, "Left, higher, slow down." Zorath obeyed instantly, twisting in the air to avoid a massive energy beam that exploded nearby. The Dark Fleet fired again, sending dozens of ships forward. The aliens on the station fired back, but their weapons were no match for Zoratha's flames. The dragon's fire scorched the nearest ships, sending them spinning out of control. The commander of the Dark Fleet watched in disbelief. A child rides the dragon, and yet they survive? Impossible. We must act carefully. We cannot underestimate her. Back on the station, Lily guided Zorath through the attacks. "We need to protect the platform. The people, they have to be safe." Zorath swooped down, spreading his massive wings to shield the station. The alien delegates and soldiers cheered, realizing that the child and the dragon were more than just a curiosity. They were protectors. One of the alien captains, a tall, four-armed creature named Varn, turned to Caro. "I never thought I would see a human do this. And with a dragon. We are witnessing history." Caro nodded, still holding the control panel. "History is happening right now. And she is making it." The battle continued through the afternoon. The Dark Fleet was powerful, but Lily and Zorath worked as one. Every command was gentle, every movement precise. Zorath blocked attacks, protected the station, and even rescued smaller ships that had been hit. Lily's voice was steady as she shouted instructions. "Now, Zorath, circle them. Don't let them reach the platform." The black flame obeyed instantly, his massive wings creating gusts that knocked several enemy ships out of formation. Explosions lit up the sky, and the heat from Zoratha's fire reflected off the station's metal walls. The alien delegates watched, wide-eyed. "A child is doing what an entire fleet could not," said Rel. Suddenly, a massive ship emerged from the Dark Fleet. It was larger than the others, black as night, and bristling with weapons. The commander of the Dark Fleet spoke through the ship's speaker. "Child human, step down from the dragon. Surrender him, or all will be destroyed." Lily's eyes narrowed, but she remained calm. "Zorath and I are not afraid. We protect our friends, not because of power, but because we care. You don't have to fight us." The ship fired a massive beam at the station. Zorath reacted instantly, spreading his wings and flying between the beam and the platform. The heat from the beam melted the metal on his scales, but he did not falter. Lily held tight, whispering, "You can do it. I believe in you." The beam hit Zoratha's wing, but he roared and sent a wave of fire back, forcing the massive ship to retreat slightly. The aliens cheered, amazed by the courage of both child and dragon. The battle raged for hours. Lily guided Zorath through attacks, rescued stranded personnel, and protected the station. Slowly, the Dark Fleet began to retreat. They had underestimated the child, underestimated the dragon, and underestimated the power of courage and kindness. When the last enemy ship fled, the station fell silent. Smoke rose from damaged areas, but no one was hurt. The alien delegates and soldiers stared at Lily in awe. You survived, Caro said, still trembling. You protected everyone. How is this possible? Lily smiled, brushing a hand over Zorith's snout. We didn't do it alone. Zorith helped me. And we care about each other. That's why we were strong. Xylar's two heads nodded slowly. Humans, they see strength differently. Not as power, but as courage, kindness, and connection. This child, she has shown us what it means to be human. Even Zorith seemed to understand. The black flame lowered his head, nudging Lily gently. She hugged his snout, feeling the tremor of his breath. We did it, she whispered. We kept them safe. The alien delegates began to clap, cheer, and even bow slightly to the child. Caro shook his head. She is 7 years old. 7. And she did what no fleet could do. But, in the distance, far beyond the stars, the Dark Commander watched through his instruments. His eyes narrowed behind his mask. A child and a dragon. They are powerful together. But we will not fail. We will return. And, next time, we will test them in ways they cannot imagine. Lily, unaware of the lingering threat, climbed down from Zorith's back. She walked among the aliens and humans, smiling, helping repair damage, and checking that everyone was safe. It's okay, she said. We are all together now. That's what matters. The aliens whispered among themselves, amazed by the child's bravery. Varn, the four-armed captain, said quietly, no one in the galaxy has ever seen this. A human child, a dragon, and courage that can face fleets. Perhaps humans are meant to be leaders, not soldiers. Caro looked at Lily and Zorith. She didn't fight with weapons. She fought with trust, friendship, and courage. And she won. That is incredible. As night fell on the jagged planet, Lily sat beside Zorith, stroking his massive snout. We did good today, she said softly. We protected everyone. And we will protect them again if we have to. The dragon rumbled in agreement, curling his massive wings around her like a shield. The aliens watched silently, understanding that something extraordinary had happened. Lily, a small human child, had faced the deadliest dragon, the most feared fleet, and had protected everyone without a single weapon. The galaxy had begun to see humans differently. They were not just fragile creatures. They were brave, clever, and capable of extraordinary things. And, far away, the Dark Fleet prepared for another attack, unaware that the greatest power they would face was not the dragon, not the fleets, but the courage and kindness of a 7-year-old human child. Part 4. The Dark Fleet had retreated, but the commander was not finished. Far away, in a hidden system, he gathered more ships, more weapons, and more soldiers. He would return, and, this time, he would not underestimate the human child. Back on the station, Lily continued her days with Zorith. She explored the rocky terrain, flew on his back, and played near the rivers. Every day, she learned more about the dragon and about the aliens who had come to observe her. Slowly, the aliens began to trust her as much as Zorith did. Caro approached her one morning, holding a datapad. Lily, he said softly, we received messages from other systems. They warn that the Dark Fleet is gathering again. They are preparing a bigger attack. We don't know when, but it will come. Lily looked thoughtful. We can handle it. Can't we, Zorith? She asked, patting the dragon's snout. Zorith rumbled in response, wings twitching in readiness. Xylar stepped forward. It is not just about fighting, he said. This is about strategy. The Dark Fleet has learned from the last encounter. They will not make the same mistake again. You must be careful, child. Lily smiled gently. I know. But we have each other. And we have friends. She looked around at the aliens who had stayed behind to protect the station. Some were nervous, but all trusted her and Zorith. Days passed in preparation. The aliens reinforced the station, built shields, and repaired ships. Lily trained with Zorith, learning to guide him more effectively during battles. She laughed when he playfully chased her through the air, and he nudged her gently with his massive head when she fell. Then, one morning, Alarms blared louder than ever. Red lights flashed across the station. Caro ran to the control room, and Xyler followed. "They are here," Caro said, voice shaking. "Much closer than before. The fleet is larger and more aggressive." Lily ran to the platform, Zorith waiting beside her. "We can do this," she said calmly. "Right, big guy?" The dragon rumbled, lifting his wings into the sky. The dark fleet descended in formation, ships black and sharp like claws. They opened fire immediately, energy beams lighting the sky. The station shook, and aliens scrambled to their posts. Lily climbed onto Zorith's back, holding tight as he roared and lifted off the ground. "We have to protect them, Zorith. Everyone depends on us." The black flame responded instantly, weaving through the beams, using his massive wings to shield parts of the station. He fired blasts of fire at enemy ships, sending some spinning out of control. The alien delegates were stunned. "She is guiding him with precision," said Rel quietly. "She is thinking faster than any fleet commander I have ever seen." Caro nodded. "She is not just brave. She is smart. And the dragon obeys her perfectly." The Dark Commander watched from his flagship. "Impossible. A child is controlling Zorith. But we will test them. Destroy the station if you must. Leave no survivors." One of the enemy ships fired a massive beam aimed directly at the platform. Zorith twisted midair, using his wings to redirect the energy, but the force still caused a section of the platform to collapse. Lily held on tight, shouting, "Hold on. We can fix this." Zorith roared, flames erupting from his mouth, melting the attacking ship. Smaller ships tried to flank them, but Lily guided Zorith with skill beyond her years. "Left, up, faster," she shouted. The dragon obeyed, twisting and diving, protecting the station from destruction. Some aliens began to panic. "We can't hold them," shouted Varn, the four-armed captain. Caro shook his head. "Look at her. She is not afraid. And Zorith trusts her. That is why we survive." Lily noticed a group of smaller ships attempting to sneak behind the station. "Zorith, go there. Protect the people." The black flames swooped, wings creating a gust that knocked the enemy ships out of formation. They exploded against each other as Zorith's fire scorched them. The Dark Commander grew angry. "Stop them. They are defying logic." But Lily remained calm. She guided Zorith to block every attack, to shield the station, and to rescue smaller ships hit by enemy fire. She moved quickly, pointing, shouting, and guiding the dragon with gestures and words. "You are amazing," Caro whispered. "No human has ever done this." Xyler nodded. "It is not just courage. It is understanding. She knows Zorith, and he trusts her completely. That is why they can survive attacks that would destroy a fleet." Hours passed. The station shook, fires burned, and explosions rocked the sky. But Lily and Zorith never faltered. Slowly, the enemy fleet began to retreat, realizing that brute force could not defeat the child and the dragon. Finally, the last ship fled, damaged and broken. Silence returned to the station. Smoke rose from the rocks, and the heat from Zorith's fire made the metal glimmer. Lily climbed down from Zorith's back, brushing her hands over his scales. "We did it, big guy. We saved them all." The aliens cheered, clapping and bowing. Even those who had doubted humans now looked at her with respect. "She is incredible," Rel said softly. "A child, yet she protected hundreds of lives." Caro shook his head. "She didn't fight with weapons. She fought with trust and courage. That is what made her stronger than the Dark Fleet." Zorith lowered his head, nudging Lily gently. She hugged his snout, feeling the heat of his breath. "We are a team," she whispered. "We can do anything together." But, far away, the Dark Commander stared at his damaged fleet. "A child and a dragon. They are stronger than I thought. But we will return. And next time, we will not underestimate them." On the station, life slowly returned to normal. Repairs were made, fires were put out, and the aliens stayed close to Lily and Zorith, protecting them from any future attacks. Lily smiled as she walked beside Zorith. "We have friends now," she said, "and we will make sure everyone is safe." Caro looked at her, amazed. "You are 7 years old, and you have done what no fleet, no army, and no alien could do. You saved hundreds of lives today." Lily shrugged. "I just wanted to help." Zorith, and we look out for each other. Xylar nodded. Humans are not just survivors. They are teachers, leaders, and friends. This child shows us that. She is extraordinary. Zorith rumbled, wings spreading over the station like a protective shield. Lily sat on his back, laughing softly. Don't worry, everyone. We will be ready next time. And we will protect each other. The aliens understood then that this small human child had done more than survive. She had changed how the galaxy would see humans forever. Courage, kindness, and understanding had become stronger than weapons. And far in the dark reaches of space, the Dark Commander planned again. The child and the dragon were no longer unknown threats. They were now the greatest obstacle in the galaxy, and he would not rest until he had tested them to the limit. But Lily, unaware of the looming danger, smiled and stroked Zorith's snout. Together, they had survived another day. Together, they had protected the station. And, together, they would face whatever the galaxy threw at them next. Part 5. The Dark Commander's fleet had grown larger, stronger, and more dangerous. Reports had reached him from across the galaxy. The human child, Lily, had survived every attack, tamed the deadliest dragon, and protected her station and allies. For the first time in his life, he felt doubt. They cannot be stopped by strength alone, he said, his voice hard and cold. We will need strategy, cunning, and surprise. Send the fleet. This ends now. Back at the station, Lily felt the tension in the air. Even the aliens who had come to trust her sensed something was coming. Caro and Xylar monitored the sensors, their expressions grave. They are coming, Caro said softly. Much larger than before. We will need every ship, every weapon, every bit of courage we have. Lily looked at Zorith, who was perched beside the platform, massive wings folded but ready. We've faced them before, big guy. We can do it again. Together. Zorith rumbled, a deep sound that felt like a promise. The aliens began preparations. Defensive shields rose around the station. Smaller ships were ready to assist. Even some alien species that had once doubted humans now offered their help. Hours passed. The sky turned dark as the Dark Fleet appeared on the horizon, hundreds of ships stretching across space. The commander's flagship led them, bristling with weapons, and his message echoed through the void. Child human, surrender the dragon. Step down, or all will be destroyed. Lily climbed onto Zorith's back, gripping his scales tightly. We won't step down. We protect those who cannot protect themselves. We fight for everyone here. Zorith lifted into the sky, wings creating gusts that shook the platform. Flames danced along his scales. Lily leaned forward, pointing and shouting directions to guide him. The battle began. Energy beams shot across the sky. Explosions lit the darkness. Ships collided. The aliens at the station fired weapons, but it was Zorith and Lily who became the heart of the defense. Left. Higher. Protect the station. Lily shouted. The dragon twisted through the air, blocking attacks, shielding smaller ships, and sending waves of fire toward the enemy. The alien delegates watched, speechless. She is extraordinary, whispered Rel. A child, guiding a dragon against an entire fleet. Caro shook his head. She doesn't fight like we fight. She fights with trust and courage. And that is stronger than any weapon. The Dark Commander, watching from his flagship, grew furious. A child. How can a child command Zorith like a general? Impossible. Destroy them. The fleet pressed forward. Dozens of ships focused on Zorith, hoping to overwhelm him. But Lily guided him with perfect precision. Dive. Turn. Fire, she shouted. The dragon obeyed instantly, weaving through the attack, his massive wings creating a shield that protected the station. Zorith roared, flames erupting from his mouth. Enemy ships exploded as the heat and fire consumed them. But one massive ship, larger than the others, advanced toward the station. It fired a huge beam directly at the platform. Zorith, Lily shouted. We have to stop it. The dragon lunged forward, intercepting the beam with his body. Heat scorched his scales, and the force sent him spinning through the air. Lily held on tight, her small hands gripping his scales. You can do it. We can protect them together. The other alien ships joined the fight, attacking the massive vessel from all sides. The battle raged, louder and more violent than ever before. Explosions shook the sky. Fires lit the rocks below. But Lily remained calm, guiding Zorith with courage and determination. The Dark Commander grew impatient. If strength cannot defeat them, then use fear. Strike at their hearts. He sent a squadron to target Lily directly. The ships closed in fast, weapons ready to fire. But Zorith moved like a shadow, twisting and turning, shielding Lily. The child shouted instructions with precision. Left, duck, higher. One by one, the enemy ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. The Dark Commander's eyes narrowed. Impossible. How can a child survive against us all? Then, Lily saw the commander's flagship, massive and glowing with power, aiming its main weapon directly at the station. She leaned forward. Zorith, this is it. We have to stop them now. The dragon roared, wings spreading wide, fire streaming from his mouth. He dove toward the flagship, dodging energy beams, and crashed into the ship's shields with incredible force. The impact shook the enemy vessel, sparks flying from its surface. Lily shouted, now? Fire with everything we have. The alien ships at the station and Zorith's flames combined in a massive attack. Energy beams, fire, and explosions struck the flagship from every direction. The shields faltered, then failed. The flagship exploded in a brilliant flash, sending debris across the sky. The Dark Fleet faltered. Without their commander, the remaining ships began to retreat, leaving the station and Zorith victorious. The station was safe. The aliens cheered. Karo wiped sweat from his forehead. She did it. She and Zorith did it. They defeated the fleet. Zyler's two heads clicked in approval. This child has changed everything. She is no longer just a human. She is a symbol. Courage, kindness, and trust stronger than any weapon. Lily climbed down from Zorith's back, brushing her hands over his snout. We did it, big guy. Everyone is safe. And we showed them what friendship and trust can do. The aliens gathered around, clapping and cheering. Some bowed, some shook hands, and some even shed tears. Rel stepped forward. This is a new era. The humans, they are not weak. They are brave, clever, and strong in ways we could never imagine. Carol looked at Lily, astonished. You are 7 years old, and you saved hundreds of lives, defended the station, and even defeated the Dark Fleet. How is this possible? Lily shrugged, smiling. I just did what I thought was right. Zorith and we protect each other. And that's what helped us win. Zorith rumbled, lowering his massive head to nuzzle her. She hugged his snout tightly. We make a great team, don't we? News of the victory spread across the galaxy. Systems that had once doubted humans began to see them differently. They were no longer fragile creatures. They were clever, brave, and capable of incredible things. Even a small child could inspire entire fleets and tame the deadliest dragon in the galaxy. The Dark Commander, though defeated, vowed to return. But, for now, he had learned something new. Courage, kindness, and trust could be stronger than armies, weapons, or fear. Back at the station, Lily looked at the stars with Zorith beside her. We did good today, she whispered. We protected everyone, and we will always protect those who need help. Karo smiled, watching her. She doesn't just survive. She teaches us how to be better, how to be brave and kind, even when the odds are against us. Zyler nodded. Humans are extraordinary, and this child, she is a beacon for the galaxy. Everyone will remember this day. The aliens returned to their ships, inspired by Lily's courage. They had seen what humans could do, and they would carry the story of a small child and a mighty dragon across the stars. Zorith rumbled again, wings spreading wide, and lifted Lily gently onto his back. Together, they soared above the station, looking out at the galaxy. You and I, big guy, Lily whispered. We can face anything. Together, we are unstoppable. The stars sparkled in response, as if the universe itself was celebrating. And, far beyond, systems began to prepare for a new era, one where humans were no longer underestimated, where courage and kindness could shape the galaxy, and where a small child and a mighty dragon had shown the universe the true meaning of strength. The galaxy had changed, not because of weapons, not because of fear, but because of one human child's courage, one dragon's trust, and the bond they shared. And Lily smiled, holding on to Zorith, ready for whatever adventure came next. The story of the human child and the deadliest dragon had become legend, a story whispered across star systems. That courage, kindness, and trust could defeat even the darkest forces in the galaxy. And from that day forward, humans were no longer seen as weak. They were seen as heroes,